to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The good bad guys of wrestling podcasts are back talking all things of the week that was in professional wrestling. Happy July, everybody. The gang is all here.
We're gonna be on the Jericho cruise before you know it.
Let's get to SummerSlam first. We're a month away. First things first. Joe is back this week.
Yes, the four horsemen are here.
Are you okay with that?
I'm okay as long as Kevin is Paul Roma.
Oh, wow! Because Joe, it wasn't me. I would never say anything that mean about you on the show.
Behind my back. You would say it in my face.
Maybe behind your back, definitely, but definitely not on the show where it's
all good. So. It's all good.
Kevin went off the top rope.
I was going to say like Mexicools or something.
Kevin kicked Joe in the dick with that line last week.
Kevin pulled a Seth Rollins on me. He had the chair and he nailed me on that.
I felt it. I felt it. It was impactful. It was out of left field. I didn't see it coming. But I'm glad we can put our differences aside and come together for our weekly wrestling podcast, as we tend to do here. And we have a lot of cool stuff to get into. Of course, we're going to get into Money in the Bank, the preview and predictions. Jason will be in Toronto. How cool is that?
Yep. I'm international now.
Including the Sami Zayn comedy, right?
Yeah, and I got an email. I got an email today. It's a cell phone free environment. They lock your phones up. So interesting. And I don't know if you saw Sammy today. Johnny Knoxville posted on his way to Toronto. So who knows what's going to happen. And unfortunately, I will not be able to film any footage because I do not want to be arrested by a Canadian mounted police officer.
And sometimes it's just fun to take in the experience, not to hold a device.
What he said.
Well, the Mountie is coming to get you.
Oh, which you might meet on the Jericho cruise, like Jay and I did last year.
Yeah, maybe in the fine print you're allowed digital cameras that can record some video.
Or
probably don't even try that.
A disposable Kodak camera.
Right.
And the only reason I'm saying that today is the exit off the highway to my house today, all over the ground, Kodak floppy disks. I'm not kidding.
What?
It was like a box fell off the back of a truck. Floppy disks everywhere, all over Lebanon Church Road. It was crazy.
Worst heist ever.
Yeah, seriously.
Got those AOL
startup
free
discs.
Samples.
Yeah,
and I was saying that's like some Back to the Future shit. Like Doc Brown stole those
crazy
to power the DeLorean or something.
If I hit that road tomorrow, I'll try to get a photo of it. But it's for real.
Wow. All right. The world is a great place. Let's start with everything going on in wrestling. And we'll start first with last Friday night. We had the acknowledgement ceremony of Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline. And it gets to Paul Heyman. He looks like he's seen a ghost. He's on his deathbed. And he pulls out that line of Solo, I love you. And I acknowledge you are not my tribal chief. And the crowd went nuts. And poor Paul took a beat down from that. What did you think of this segment, guys? And I think when you kind of look at the Bloodline, everything's been going on for what? Almost 4 years now.
Yeah.
I think Roman came in SummerSlam of 2020, which is insane. There's highs and lows. And I think there's been a lot of people with this new post-Mania stuff of no Roman, House Solo, adding these new guys that maybe some people have been like, maybe not, maybe it's okay. Did this like change kind of where your head was about how much you're enjoying this story? It did for me.
I enjoyed the segment. Paul Heyman physicality never really works for me because it just feels like it's a struggle. And I get it. He's not a trained in-ring performer. But look, Heyman does it. He doesn't shave, probably doesn't sleep for 4 days prior, so his eyes are bright red.
Crazy.
He is full commitment to the storyline, and I love that. It's just the physicality that just doesn't do it for me.
I thought the physicality was great because it doesn't look natural. It looks like somebody who would get destroyed and is going to fall awkward or destroyed. He always hides his belly. He's got a big round belly, and he wears suits, so it's hidden. So when he took that power bomb, he literally tilted sideways and didn't move. And I just felt like you kind of saw his roundness and you just took it as, wow, this guy really shouldn't be taking these type of hits, right? Because he's not the most in shape guy. But you mentioned not sleeping for days. When he was talking or getting kind of just like the heated exchange, you literally saw the little tear come down in the massive, it looked like he had massive amount of pink eye. I will say this. I thought Academy Award worthy
saying that
for slammy, maybe even slammy moment of the year of his the real
ring.
Question, nothing with Jericho.
The real question is, Kevin, is that Twippy moment of the year worthy?
It might be nominated. Yes.
Well, that might be maybe, but I'll say, but these last 2 weeks have made Bloodline 2.0 skyrocket in my eyes, because I feel like it was good, maybe average, just there. Oh, new guy, boom, still there. Third guy, boom, just still there. And then debut 2 weeks ago, and then the Heyman thing last Friday. It's accelerating, and where we'll go. This Friday's must watch.
Can I get a majority rule on the whole 2.0 portion of the Bloodline? I say no 2.0. It's just the Bloodline.
Like the name? Yeah. No, 2.0 is never.
Okay, Joe.
And I think new Bloodline.
Has anyone called him 2.0?
Kevin just did, and now he's not allowed because majority rules on that wrestling podcast. So
it's just the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Because did you call the Triple H led DX 2.0? No, it was still DX.
Well, it was still a comparison though.
It was just a new
two different
group. So it's not it's not like they're the Bloodline Wolfpack.
Well, Joe, Kevin hates you, Joe. Wow.
Okay, so let me answer this.
Do?
You started off with us being the Four Horsemen. So you ranked Mongo McMichael.
Oh no, Kevin, that was a joke. The point.
No, I understand.
Okay.
But that Four Horsemen is just as worthy of calling themselves the Four Horsemen.
It's just a name.
It's just a name.
I understand it's a name.
It's not version
that's why
2,
there's
version 3, version 4.
the new Nexus.
Well, that was
bad.
Yeah.
Not to be confused.
I think too. At least there's
and that didn't last.
In that Horseman example, at least Flair and Arn Anderson are there, right? So they're there.
Yeah.
Solo's part of the original.
No, I get it.
So
I'm glad this segment happened, getting Heyman off of out of there, because now it is Solo's group. It no longer has any connection to the original Bloodline, Roman's Bloodline, because
right.
Because Heyman was Roman's wise man. He was never Solo's. So now Solo is he's gonna need a wise man. Who is going to be his wise man?
Armando Alejandro.
No,
I don't remember his last name.
Estrada.
Yeah.
You think that's the move, Joe? You think there's another?
It should be. It should be. You got to have a wise man if you're gonna keep this Bloodline storyline intact. You got to have This has to be Solo's group. Has to be Solo's Bloodline, which means he has to pick his own wise man. Now, is it going to be his what?
It's going to be Sonya Deville.
No, I was thinking are they bringing Rikishi in? Are they bringing Pops in to be the wise man?
I'm telling you, Armando Alejandro Estrada.
He managed Umaga, of course, part of the whole thing.
Exactly.
So there's a thread there. What about Jim Cornette? It's like a glove, right? Come on, no?
I would love it. I'm not a cult of Cornette guy in this era of Cornette, but manager Jim Cornette, I love that dude. That dude.
Start whacking Cody with the tennis racket. Let's go. Bring it back.
Well, in that case, just bring back Brother Love. Isn't he still an
employee? He's there.
Yeah, he's still there. Yeah.
It'll be interesting. It will be interesting to see.
I acknowledge you.
Who could come in.
That was good. Yeah. these last 2 weeks with Jacob Fatu's edition and how kick-ass his debut was, taking out Cody, KO, and Randy, and following that up with this destruction of Paul Heyman. Whoa, any sort of lingering doubt in my mind of just like, well, how is this going to be? There's no Roman. The Usos are off either doing their own thing or not on TV. It's all gone for me. These 2 weeks in a row were fantastic television. And how about the long-term storytelling? I mean, I saw a clip floating around from, I think, the WWE on Fox Twitter account of the Usos, I think, had left, and they started planting the seed, like, I don't want to be the tribal chief. I wouldn't want to. But you know who could? And they showed Solo, and Roman started laughing. I don't know if you guys remember that. You know, there's been so much of this, like we said. And it's
Roman
like, holy shit. Now
Roman called him the heir. So, I mean,
eventually
sense.
he did. Yeah, right. So, you know.
And Jimmy attacked Jay because he said, once you become the tribal chief, you become an a-hole. So look what, like, Jimmy even called it too. He wasn't against Jay. He was against him changing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't like that
There's so many
SummerSlam ending, and now it comes full circle. You're like, okay.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
There's so many layers to this story that's been going on for 4 years that it's like, unlike the NWO storyline that never had a clear ending, they just ended it. This one seems like it's like, we don't know how it's going to end, but we're going to continually go back to what we did to make it move forward and still make sense.
Yeah. How big is that pop going to be when Roman comes back?
Oh, it's Cleveland Brown Stadium is going to explode when he comes back at SummerSlam.
It's going to be the Nova Scotia Center this Saturday.
I was going to say Jay has two arrows. I'm sorry, 2 darts at the dartboard for possibilities.
No, I would love it. I really don't see it because it's an indoor state arena. So look, SummerSlam, let it happen. Because remember,
that's where it started.
Yeah. SummerSlam is where it started. So if they want to, tie it up or at least put the second chapter of the book in with Roman as the good guy, yeah, let's have it in Cleveland. And then we can all go do karaoke afterwards to celebrate.
He's just a tribal chief. Tribal chief.
Margaritaville for everyone.
Kev, have you thought at all about where The Rock could fit in on all this? Is it even a thought in your mind? It's just it's floating out there for me, but I can't find the puzzle piece that fits right now.
The best part about it is he never called himself, right? He's the final boss, right? So if he comes in and sides, say, with Solo and company, he's just the final boss. He doesn't want to be known as the tribal chief. So he doesn't have to be that title. You know what I mean? So if Roman comes back, tribal chief versus tribal chief, but Solo versus Roman, there's different levels there, right? It's still not to the level of The Rock. I don't know. That's the best thing about it. I want to be surprised on how he comes back, because right now, I don't think it should be anything rushed to have him come back. It should be a very slow burn. I feel like it should be maybe let it resonate for a little bit. Hopefully it's not until next WrestleMania. Maybe it'll be, Survivor Games is War Games. So it'll be like 4 months from now. I don't want to hear anything about The Rock until after SummerSlam.
I never want to hear about The Rock again.
No, I knew that was coming.
Never again.
Such a hater.
Hey, did you guys see the trailer for Moana 2?
No, but I saw the trailer for Red 1, and that looks awesome.
He's saving Santa or something, or something like that. Okay. All right. Yeah. Hell of a time on SmackDown. And let's get into the other big wrestling thing that happened over the weekend. AEW presenting the 3rd annual Forbidden Door. Of course, the superstars of New Japan Pro Wrestling and CMLL. Jay, you got to watch it, man. Give us your overall thoughts.
I believe in Jack Perry.
Oh,
I called it.
Joe did. Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but that ladder match was pretty insane. Briscoe is the most insane dude. The stuff he did, almost had a Copeland situation where he shortchanged the table, almost broke a knee again, but luckily I don't think that happened. We got the return of the Doc. Britt Baker's back, looked amazing. Mercedes was getting booed. Cut that out. And it was not that exciting of a match.
I heard a lot of F the Celtics chants from the New York crowd. So
yeah, so there was pissed. That. Yeah, and then of course Swerve and Ospreay, unbelievable. And then earlier this week that the reason we got that match is because Ospreay wanted to prove that Swerve was just not some transitional champion, that he was worth having the title. And that's pretty awesome that a guy's going to put his own. I mean, I don't think the guy has lost since he's been in AEW.
No, that was his first loss.
Losses on Swerve, which is amazing. So I figured I was going to be the only one to watch it because I do not have a life. So go watch the replay. I think it's worth it. 0 Hour, I think, had 4 matches. Maybe 4. So, but that's on YouTube. You can watch those for free. So if you don't want to watch the full pay-per-view, but at least catch some of the Forbidden Door pre-show, the 0 Hour, I think is what they call it. That's on YouTube for free.
Yeah, if you guys thought Paul Heyman's eyes were red after Friday Night SmackDown, you should have seen Jason after all that on Sunday night.
What would that be? 15 matches? 4 and main card was 11?
And not an all edible wrestling night for me.
Oh,
so you remember.
And you live to tell about
it. No chairs.
No chairs.
Okay.
No chair shots.
I'm down to 2. I only need 2. WrestleMania 23 and WrestleMania 31. Those are what I need for now. And actually, no, I got all the SummerSlam ones.
So you need Payback?
I would like
Payback.
I don't remember if I bought Payback. So it might be at my storage place. I have no idea. So we'll figure that shit out when the new house gets finished. And you guys come to hang and pick a chair to watch a pay-per-view on. So
I like you mentioned about the story that Will Ospreay ending up putting Swerve over, because that was my whole fear from the beginning of this match being set up. I thought, well, that's a Wembley match. They're doing it now, and I don't know if I see Will Ospreay losing. And I feel like this, to me, might have been the first AEW main event where it felt like the true future of the company on both ends are there. And these two guys can be there for the next, let's say, 5 years. You know, I think about the main events like MJF, the future, versus John Moxley. Well, he's the present, he's the now. You know, anything with Chris Jericho, Hangman Page, the present. You know, Ospreay's new, Swerve is just getting his first, title run. It feels like to me this could be a big stamp for AEW moving forward, that they can really bank on this being something they can go on and making it their own and making it real good.
There was a please retire chant at Jericho. So he grabbed the mic. It was like, hey guys, I know you really don't want me to retire because I'm here for the young guys. Thanks. Yeah, he handled it perfect, as he always does, because he's the greatest. So
that's fun. Joe, Kevin, any other thoughts? Just, I know you didn't see, but from reading and things like that. Yeah.
I could do without Forbidden Door, because it kind of makes Dynamite kind of unwatchable for the past month. Because all they're doing is just setting up matches of oh, by the way, you're facing this guy. Here's a video package of them. And the general audience doesn't know who they are. And this is I think this is something that should be a specialty pay-per-view, but not so much TV time given for it, if that makes sense.
Because that doesn't make sense, because you need the TV time to build the pay-per-view, to build the attraction, to get people to want to buy the pay-per-view. And I'm curious, because for me, Forbidden Door is a must, because there's a lot of those guys and girls I don't know. So, I mean, I'm not an AEW sicko, but I'm a wrestling sicko. I want to know more and I want to see more. And yeah, I mean, if you're going to have Forbidden Door, you have to put the TV stuff on it to build it.
I think that's
it's hard.
fair.
It's hard to fix. That's why I'm not. That's why I don't have the pencil. That's why I'm not in the room. But it's like it's the product on TV was kind of like you could miss the past month of Dynamite and not miss anything. So that's what I'm talking about. It's like whenever it's Forbidden Door time, it's like you don't have to watch any of the shows to keep up with any storylines because they're all put on hold. You see what I'm saying?
I see,
That's what
I see from both sides because I see 100% with Joe because it is like it's kind of like a teaser. Hey, you're going to see a little bit of this guy, but guess what? After a month,
you're not
they're
going to see him
probably
again
going to
for
go away. But then on the flip side, I see it from Jason's side of, hey, you might not know who this is. Maybe this will make you watch
Stardom.
Was it
CMLL.
I'm gonna totally ruin her name. She went against Timeless Tony. Was it Vacker?
Oh no, Stephanie Backer. She went
Backer
against,
was with Mercedes.
correct.
Okay, that's okay.
Mina.
So,
Mina was Tony Storm.
so I didn't know
And the
the
three of them
lady who went
kissed.
against Mercedes, and until I saw like an intro, and I watched like little clips here and there. So that's interesting, which made me want to find out more. But I see from Joe's side, I probably tend to lean more with Joe just because it takes away from the product. But I guess that's what it's kind of there for.
Yeah,
It's
for
tricky.
me,
it's just hard. It's just hard to like. It's hard to book this because, yes, it's great that they're doing Forbidden Door, but they're putting too much precious television time and effort into this. People are going to buy it no matter what.
it's
But people
does it
aren't.
make-
But the ratings for like the TV, I know we don't care about the ratings, but the ratings for Dynamite have been going down during Forbidden Door time, and I bet you it goes back up to their norm this week and beyond because they're done with Forbidden Door. It's back to the original show. It's like when they take this month off the pause, it makes Dynamite, Collision, and Rampage not must see. It's must like, I'll get to it when I get to it.
It's tough because there's a lot at one time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot that they have to cram in of new wrestler, new wrestler, new wrestler, new wrestler, new wrestler. That is a lot. It is, and I get it because it is a cool concept of Forbidden Door. I think the problem for me for this year was, AEW has been taking those good New Japan talents that we all were really excited to see, like Okada and Will Ospreay and guys like that. Well, that's why your main event was two AEW guys. It wasn't a New Japan versus AEW. So
I'll give you that. I will give you that. If it's going to be Forbidden Door, it should be AEW versus New Japan
straight across the board,
or versus CMLL. And it was cool that they added CMLL and Stardom for the women.
Yes.
So 4 promotions in one, which is, like I said, for me, must watch because, like I said, I want to know more about the New Japan guys. I don't know anything about Stardom except that the 3 girls kissed. Mariah, Mina, and Tony Storm kissed. So, that's what Stardom's about. I don't have any porn music in my.
You got a birthday coming up, and your Stardom subscription is coming your way.
I will say this.
Yeah, that's what I was
waiting
waiting
for. The clip of Tony Storm coming out as Statue of Liberty was pretty fun.
No, she was
had more amps. Get in, bitch.
Okay.
She wasn't the Statue of Liberty. She was the old Columbia logo at the beginning of old-fashioned movies. She wasn't the Statue of Liberty. She was the Columbia logo.
Oh my
Nice.
God! Either
Sorry,
way,
nerd flag.
That was good. That was good. All right. Well, here we are now, very first days of July, and before we get into what's happening this weekend with Money in the Bank, we want to take a look back. We're basically at the halfway point of the year. And it took me a while, guys, but I found it. I think in our first show of 2024, we did some predictions.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
I had to find it. I was like, oh, okay. So what we did was we each did our 2 of our own predictions. And then if you guys remember, we do what we call like the on the spot prediction where I could give Jason a name and you would have to come up with the prediction on the spot and just like that. So we'll go down the line at these 6-month predictions and see where they stand. See if they still have a chance to happen or maybe they've already happened. You never know. My prediction, my first one, Gunther will defeat Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at the Bash at Berlin. I guess it could still happen, right?
Yeah.
You know, Seth could
Still
possibly
could.
win. And I didn't think he would have lost it already and have to win it back, but yeah. So there's
Okay, so you still got that.
I still have a chance at that one.
Good. So you're saying there's a chance.
I'm saying there's a chance. It's a bit of a loophole, but yes. My second one was AJ Styles announces his full-time ring career to be over by Mania 41. And lo and behold, they had a storyline teasing that. It hasn't happened, but I don't know. It's like not even a quarter credit, but I was at least on the right mind frame there.
All right.
And then Jason, you gave me the on-the-spot prediction. You had me predict for Ricochet. My prediction: he will reform the tag team with Braun Strowman and they'll win the tag titles before Survivor Series. Swing and a miss.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'll get there. You earned that one.
Technically, he's still a chance if he quits
He's
AEW.
on the alumni section now.
I know. He'll have to be signed by AEW and quit before Survivor Series and reform the tag team.
All right.
It's not over yet.
All right. Here's your mid-year Ricochet on-the-spot prediction, or yes or no. Will he be the mystery opponent against Jeff Jarrett in the Owen Hart Cup?
Whoa.
Oh.
I'll say yes.
I think that's this week.
I think
if
you're
you
right.
are,
I think
just
that's
for the
right.
record, we're recording on Tuesday, July 2nd. So Dynamite has not happened. So you think it'll be Ricochet versus Double J?
I like it, Jay. Yeah.
I say no.
It wasn't for you, Joe. Not everything's about you, man.
Yeah, but you
I
said
thought it
yes
was
or
to
no on the
everybody.
spot. I thought it was
said
everybody.
Brian.
Oh, that was my
Brian.
6 month on the spot. I got you.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Jesus
All right.
Christ, Joe.
Well,
see if I
Brian
get
thought so
another one.
too. So, all right.
Whatever.
All right. Jason, here are your predictions. Jason, Alexa Bliss will make a return at the Royal Rumble. Still a chance, but not for the Rumble.
Did I say this year?
Well,
It had to be in the year, yes.
I in theory, you did. Your second one, Liv Morgan. She will win Money in the Bank again.
Could happen.
I mean, she might win at Money in the Bank.
It hasn't technically not happened yet.
That's true.
There's still a chance. There's an injury on SmackDown. Maybe she takes it. You're on the spot prediction, and this one we'll know the answer to. Joe gave this one to you, Jay.
Okay.
The wrestler he gave you, Matt Cardona.
Oh.
And your prediction was he will repeat as the Oceanic champion on the Jericho Cruise. Did he win? Who won?
No. Michael
Okray?
Okay.
Michael Oku.
Yeah, Oku.
All right. That was a good one, though. Okay.
So, we'll let that happen.
It does. All right, Kevin, over to you. Your first prediction, MJF will come back as a face, and he will win the title before the end of 2024. Still a possibility. Still a possibility.
There's still a chance.
Your second one, Braun Breaker and Cora Jade will debut together on the main roster.
Wah, wah.
It
depends. What was this? Debut together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you just said.
Yeah, that's a bust.
And Cora has a torn ACL, so she's nowhere near.
And doesn't even look like the Cora Jade that she was when he made that prediction.
Yeah,
It happens.
She's a flotation device.
It's developmental. She's developing.
Oh, those things are developed.
All right, easy.
And her face.
Easy.
Yeah.
Surgical.
Not needed.
Your on the spot prediction was from me. Your prediction was for Ricky Starks. which which this one is especially funny because I think your prediction at first was Ricky Starks will not get a title match the entire year. And at the time that you said it, he was the tag team champion with Big Bill. So we had to correct you.
Yeah,
like, I think he's champ already. I don't know if you guys remember that, but go back to the tape. It's true.
Kev, we'll give it to you.
So yeah, so you did a redo, and your redo was that Ricky Starks will lose to Adam Cole in a title match. In theory, it could still happen, but it's not looking good for either Adam Cole or Ricky
I'd
Starks.
like a secondary question of will Ricky Starks be hidden?
All right, Kev, I got it. No. I got it. Who's going to be on TV first in 2024? Ricky Starks, Adam Cole, or Ricochet? On AEW.
They're going to all come together at once.
Trios.
Will the AEW WWE trademarking come into effect where he will be Rick apostrophe O'Shea? That old joke, is that going to be a thing? I don't know.
Irish acrobat Rick O'Shea.
Yes. Sponsored by McDonald's. All right, Joe.
I'm loving it.
Loving it.
Yeah.
Oh, damn you.
Your predictions. Roman Reigns will beat Hulk Hogan's record and is champ for all of 2024.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Loser.
Mania proved that one wrong. Your second one, AEW Collision will be canceled.
No.
Still time.
And
Still
they have
time.
a new TV deal coming up, and they could get rid of it. So you can't say want yet. But didn't we change it to not Collision, but like they're losing a show?
I'll have to go back. I took the first.
Either way, it doesn't. Okay.
Not important.
All right. The on the spot one was from Kevin to you. A very appropriate one. Nia Jax.
And I said she was going to be clean to the ring.
Unfortunately, not.
You froze. I don't. What did he say?
You had she will show up on SmackDown, which she did get drafted to SmackDown.
Okay.
And then
0.5.
I don't know if I'm drawing a blank on this one. But he said great match with Bayley, but will lose in the build to Money in the Bank. I know Bayley wasn't in Money in the Bank, but did Nia and Bayley have a match in Saudi Arabia or anything? Or
no?
Didn't she lose the title match against Bayley?
That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah, she did.
Happened. So,
but it wasn't in Saudi because that was it was Backlash.
It wasn't leading to Money in the Bank,
and it wasn't. Was it a great match?
You got like a
we're all terrible.
I think the only thing I got right on that was she would show up on SmackDown and have a match with Bayley.
That's a third point.
We're not professional prognosticators by any means.
No. Hopefully we'll do better in our Money in the Bank picks in just a few moments. But before we get to that, today, as we record on Tuesday, like you said, Jay, is a landmark day. Not only for the career of one Liv Morgan, but for this podcast as well.
Oh man, sorry.
Rewind.
That was supposed to be Food Fight. It's a Family Guy reference.
But
none of you are going to get that.
2 years ago, Jay, take us back to Vegas and what that was like, man.
Yeah, so Money in the Bank. I went to Vegas for the UFC. I have a friend. That friend will remain nameless. Got me tickets in the second row. Nameless because I want to keep that connect. Yeah, so we were like, well, we'll go for a little bit and then we'll go to UFC. Well, when I saw the tickets in the second row, I couldn't just leave. There was no up and at 'em. And I wanted my chairs. So I had to stay until the end of the night. Liv Morgan won Money in the Bank, and then she came out and cashed in. Now, we were just putting our videos on YouTube to have them, not necessarily to monetize or get subscribers or anything. We were literally just I'm like, well, all right, we'll try a clip.
Yeah.
We had never done that before. So I put the clip up, and there was a clip from the women's Money in the Bank match where Becky Lynch threw a temper tantrum in Ryan Cabrera's face, who was sitting right next to me. And it got a lot of traction as well. So the next morning, now remember, I'm in Vegas, Brian's in Michigan, so there's a 3-hour time difference. It might have been like 6 a.m. I think we were out until like 2. And the text just said, hey, we got 50,000 views and 7,000 subscribers in 5 hours overnight. And I was just like, holy shit. And the four of us were like, all week, it just kept building and building and building, like so much. No, it was not 7,000 subscribers. Or no, it was some crazy number of
likes, or
maybe I don't know, but we got a lot of action, and then that literally became the reason and why we can monetize on YouTube now. No, it's not much. We're not fucking Peter Rosenberg or Sam Roberts or whoever the fuck, but like it was a big deal for the four of us. I don't know. I can only speak for myself. For me, it was a huge deal because for so long we were just trying to get to 100 subscribers, and we got so like it was so cool. And that week we just kept watching the count go up, and we got to about 3,200 by the week's end. We're at 4,200 right now, which is pretty kick-ass. So like it was a big deal. And Brian was the only one that was into Liv Morgan. And I'm not going to lie, as I go to Money in the Bank this year, I may buy a Liv Morgan shirt.
Liv's on top.
Liv is finally on top.
Didn't you buy the Rhea Mommy's on top shirt and Payback? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So whoever wins I can just, swap them out. But like, it was such a thing. And like I said, we weren't trying to make anything on YouTube. We were just like putting the videos up. And, we're almost at 200 episodes.
Yeah.
We just hit 3 years at WrestleMania. Like, it's cool. We're not making a living off YouTube by any means. But
wait, you're not?
To anybody,
I shouldn't have quit my job.
Who is watching this right now, who has subscribed, or even the people that keep asking, what's the Uncle Howdy song 4 months later in the comments of that video.
It doesn't stop.
Just thank you. And if you're listening to this and you don't watch, and if you could go to YouTube and just hit subscribe, because that stuff does help and it does matter. So if you're an audio listener, please come over to YouTube. It'll definitely be a big help to us. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And I'll say this, join, subscribe, because Jason's going to Money in the Bank this weekend. And that's the one event. If there's going to be an unexpected moment.
Yeah.
That's the one to get our second 1 million view.
But for the record, I'm not sitting second row.
But you have a nice camera that zooms
third
in.
Row.
I'm not asking for connects because I'm saving that for hopefully SummerSlam so that you guys can get a taste of what my life is like sometimes, because that's what good friends do. They share the wealth. They wet the beak of their friends. And I'm hoping that can happen in SummerSlam, but definitely not worrying about that stuff at Money in the Bank.
Well, I have my one chair in the corner of when I was ringside.
But it doesn't have a face on it.
No, it has VIP.
Now, Joe, we did make a trade. So you do have a chair with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns from WrestleMania in Dallas coming your way in August.
Eventually.
So yeah.
I peeked too on the YouTube, I think just the other day, and there's somebody from, I presume, our Q106 past who just made a comment. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can make inferences.
Inference, yes.
Thank you. Thanks. You always got my
I
back
may be
on
off.
these.
I may be off this summer, but
You are the worst speaker ever. I swear, you just make up words.
Thanks for having my back on these.
But with radio, it's not like
linguistical
real
challenges.
people's names.
Yeah. So the commenter is at Rhy RHY Rhy
Ryback's there. No, I was kidding.
Rhy Dean. Okay, DEAN Rhy Dean 693. We of course used to work with a guy named Dean, so maybe it's him. I don't know.
Wait, is that the guy that cut off Stairway to Heaven midway through, Brian?
That's who I'm thinking of, but I don't know if this is him or not. I have no idea. But this person commented, "What's up, y'all? Is that my boy K-Wall on the bottom left?
What?
Hey to my old headbanging buddy Brian." And the social team wrote back, "That's them." And he gave him a thumbs up. So, yeah, maybe we can do some more investigating if it is the suspect. I think maybe old Dean DeWitt.
Go right ahead.
I don't know. But yeah, that was a new one on the YouTube that I saw just the other day. So,
what's everyone's middle name, by the way?
That's what's crazy.
Huh?
I was gonna say, what is everyone's middle name?
Mine?
Yeah.
I know Brian's middle name.
Captain Awesome.
It's after my first name, but before my last.
It's Peter. Peter's mine.
So B Peter. That's your version of K-Wall. B Peter. BP.
Love it.
Well, my nickname literally is Mark. Mark is my middle name.
Yeah.
Oh, J Mark.
Living the gimmick. Living the gimmick.
Joe, is yours Joe? Joseph Joe?
No, it's Raymond, so it's like Joe Ray.
J Ray.
Raymond. Okay.
It's like Ray J.
Okay.
You know what? It makes me wonder who that guy is. It really makes me wonder.
I couldn't get any clues from like looking on the profile. It wasn't
those are Stairway to Heaven lyrics.
Yeah, it's just exactly. But exactly.
Oh, it makes me wonder.
There wasn't any, old Q106 air checks on there. Nothing that could give it away. No Pantera videos, anything like that.
And as we wind down the road, our shadows taller than our soul. There walks the lady we all know.
Is she buying anything?
A Liv Morgan t-shirt is.
We have to do it this way.
Oh
no!
Hey, buddy.
And if you listen very hard, the tune will come to you at last. When all are one and one is all, to be rockin', not to roll. And she's buying a stairway to heaven.
Did I ever tell you guys my Stairway to Heaven story?
Beautiful. Go ahead.
When I was a kid in middle school, we would have dances. And at the midway point of the dance, they would play Stairway to Heaven. No joke. I think until after I graduated high school, I thought that was Aerosmith.
Oh.
Mind you, Jason grew up in the 60s, so information wasn't readily available at the time.
That was late 80s, asshole.
Oh, sorry. I'm always forgetful on these sort of things. All right, Jay, what is when do you head to? So you have the Sami Zayn is what, Thursday?
Yeah, so we're because I'm a psycho. Wanted to get to Toronto as soon as possible on Thursday. Yeah, our flight's at 6:40 a.m.
Okay.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so we're getting there about 8:30.
Morning flights are so much better.
Well, Pittsburgh International Airport's been having some issues due to some construction, so I will let you know. Maybe I'll just make a vlog about airport woes for Thursday. But no, we get there around 9 a.m. Thursday. Tentatively, the plan is to go take the hop-on, hop-off bus tour to kind of see what Toronto's like, because we've never been there.
Yeah.
The Superstore opens Thursday at 10. I haven't done the map quest to see where it is in comparison from hotel to superstore. And then, we can play the Price is Right game next week about how much I spent and what I actually did buy. So Money in the Bank this Thursday. I can't wait to get to Toronto. The most American thing we can do on 4th of July, which is also Brian's birthday, is to go to Canada.
It's to leave the country. That's amazing. All right, well, let's get to it. It is time for our Money in the Bank preview and predictions. And as we've done all year long here on That Wrestling Podcast, we bring in a special guest picker to join the boys to lend their insight on what's going to be happening at this weekend's PLE. I'd like to welcome our guest. He is a writer for Fansided, brand new too on Barrett News Media, I saw. Congratulations on that. That's exciting. You can also see his writing on bodyslam.net, and he hosts, or co-hosts, I should say, the Monday Night Raw post show for Body Slam as well. Plus, he lives in Indiana near Kevin. Please welcome DC Hendrix. How are you, my man?
I don't know if I'm going to hear a better intro than that. That was good stuff.
That's great.
Great stuff.
Welcome.
Pleasure to be with you all. I do see one familiar face, as you said, that I got to meet at the Fort Wayne Wrestling House show. So it's a pleasure to be with you all. Finally, we've been wanting to make this happen. So glad to be here.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's been a minute, and we've been trying. And when we kind of figured out, this holiday week, maybe we can flip you in on a Tuesday, that would work. And we're glad we could make it happen. And like you said, yeah, you and Kev, what that show was, maybe like 2 months ago, not long after Mania, I think. And you guys got to hang out in the concourse, I think, or something like that, right?
That was very cool. What might I add? Thank you for also wearing no sleeves. When you came on, I was like, boom.
Yes,
you got the mental memo.
Yeah,
right. Same energy.
That's making me look bad though. Make me look.
Kev, you might want to start wearing sleeves after this. So
I know. Yeah.
It's hot down there in Indiana.
It's a summer in Indiana thing, I guess. You can't wear sleeves.
Sure. I spent my whole day on the laon today, so that's why you got the no sleeves.
My lawn looks camouflage. So no, it was awesome, man. That house show is very cool because Brian's like, hey, DC's there, and I followed you on social media, and I knew who you were. Never had the chance to meet you, and it was awesome. We got to and internet's kind of wish-washy, at the Coliseum, the local place where they do the shows, and it was awesome. Got to meet up after the show, and it's always nice familiarizing with more people from the area. And I always tell my wife, I'm like, man, I'm going to reach out to DC. We got to watch a PLE together. I got to have you over the house to have a few beers. And one of these times we're definitely going to make that happen.
It sounds like a great time. Let's do it.
If Kevin invites you, DC, you have to go. The dude's arcade in his basement is next level. Like I can't. Oh, I love it. It's such a cool.
I was already sold, but you just sold me even more. I'm ready to go.
Let me ask you this. Favorite wrestling video game of all time?
Video game, SmackDown versus Raw. Here Comes the Pain.
Nice.
Oh, I have that in my basement.
That's a lot of talk.
That Brock on the cover. I have my PS2. I have to see if I have that.
Yeah, I actually just hooked that up recently and played it. So yeah, snow day, no school. I'm like, I'm gonna hook up the PS2, and that was what I played all day.
DC, before we get to the picks, how did you tell me real quick about you becoming a wrestling fan, and how did you start to turn this into a profession, doing the writing and the podcasting, everything else?
Yeah, so I mean, it goes back to around 2014, I started at ESPN Radio. So that kind of got my foot in the door, working as a producer, co-host type of deal. And it just kind of got, I've always been a wrestling fan, obviously. That's where we all started, right? Growing up in the Attitude Era, at least personally, that's where I grew up. And so I've always been a wrestling fan, but I started taking it a little bit more serious and professionally when I started working in radio in 2014. I started writing for PWP Nation. I think that was the first wrestling website that I started writing for, and took a little break, just started having kids. So I took a little break from doing it, and just recently got back into it. Honestly, I think the pandemic is what got me back into it pretty heavy, and started writing and became pretty much full time. I mean, I write at least an article a week, and host a podcast. I have my own wrestling network as well, WrestleHolics. So I think around the pandemic is when everything started.
DC, I just followed you on Twitter, my friend.
Hey, appreciate it. I'll make sure to get you back.
Nice.
That sounds like something that we kind of the pandemic hit and we
that's
started
how we
doing the
started.
Zoom. Yeah, I think that's a common thread for probably a lot of people in the biz.
And
yeah.
DC, I don't know if you know, but we're all formerly radio people. So
Nice.
Brian and I met in Pittsburgh in 2001-ish. We were board op in the overnights when you had to use CDs to show. So him and I became friends.
Yeah.
Then Brian went to Lansing for a job and he met Joe and Kevin. And then a year later, I moved to Michigan. He ended up helping me get a gig at that same station. And then Kevin and I almost went to fists over a Royal Rumble situation in the studio. And then we didn't talk for 15 years until Brian's bachelor party. And then, 10 years later, we're all buds and vacation together and hang together.
Like, hey, remember that one time we almost fought?
We've talked about it. We've said it.
We were like, who would have got Butterbean or who would have got Bart Gunn?
So we're all radio guys. And I just got out last year. And man, it's weird how that all those things come together,
I think Kevin was the first to escape, and then it was me, and then Brian, and then you. So
yeah.
Amazing.
Let me ask you this, DC, before we get to the picks. Big announcement last week. Triple H, we're both Indiana residents. The announcement of Rumble, a future SummerSlam, future Mania. I think he mentioned Noblesville, Evansville, and Fort Wayne specifically.
Oh, I've seen that.
Do you think we continue to get house shows, or do you think maybe like an NXT pay-per-view could come into town? Or because the Coliseum is pretty big, you can get over 10,000 people in there. Like,
I think we might get a little bit of both.
Like,
I think we might get a little bit of both.
A house show.
Yeah, I think we might actually get a little bit of both. At least that's what I got out of the press release. So I'm hoping so. I mean, I'm all for it. And obviously, my first reaction was just like, finally, tired of having to drive across the country to these big events, and actually getting ready for my first pay-per-view. At SummerSlam will be my first pay-per-view that I've ever attended in person.
Awesome.
So,
DC, do you do karaoke?
I do.
Yes.
Of course I do. Of course I do.
So in Nashville, Joe and I did karaoke. Then last year in downtown Detroit, we ended up at a karaoke bar at 1:00 in the morning. The only white people there. I did. Brian did Regulators.
I did.
And then I did My Prerogative by Bobby Brown.
Nice.
And then
killed it.
Nice.
Kevin's the only one not to do it yet. And then we joked earlier about Cleveland. If Roman Reigns comes back, it's going to be a karaoke celebration. And now that we know you're going to be there, another one of our guys, Barbara Ryan's I think he's going to be there too. So the real question though is, are you related to Doc Hendrix?
I thought you were going to ask Jimi Hendrix. I get that all the time. Neither. No relation to either, at least as far as I know.
I would have went there if this was That Classic Rock podcast, but
yes, true. Yeah, no relation though, none.
Gotcha.
Shocking. Well, that's awesome. Hopefully, we can all get together.
Let's do it.
It's a month away, which is crazy.
We gotta start planning. It's coming quick.
Yeah. So really excited about that.
4 weeks from Saturday.
Yeah.
The lyrics to Margaritaville, everybody.
Oh, baby.
All right.
We have to do it again in Indiana too, Kevin.
Exactly, right?
My first reaction, though, to be honest with you fellas, is like, I just really hope the ticket prices are fair, because I tried to go to Raw, because Raw was just in Indianapolis, and I wanted to go so bad. I was on vacation, and I wanted to go. And I looked at tickets, and I'm like, this is crazy. Like, the tickets were more for Raw than I paid for my SummerSlam tickets.
Wow.
And I'm like, look, hopefully we can get that in order when these tickets go on sale, because I feel like what I paid for SummerSlam was already a little steep. So I'm hoping that Indiana's a little bit more lenient on that.
Yeah. It's tough. It's a hot product right now. So
yeah, for sure.
It's a
blind demand.
It's demand. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, I get it.
Yeah. All right, let's get down to the business. Before we do the picks, Kevin, if you can reveal the standings, like I said, DC, we've been doing these for every WWE PLE. So that we have the four of us and a guest picker at every one, and we can see where we are in the standings on how we're doing on our picks.
Definitely. We got in just to throw this out there, it's a common thing I have to say every time we do picks. DC, you come from a long line of great pickers. You are officially one in multiple, one of many that is in first place.
Yeah.
The guest pickers in first place.
Throwing that out there.
Yeah.
We had a little controversy last time.
No, we didn't.
Your wife
cheating.
It was fixed. Your wife
It was
cheated.
not fixed. She picked the same as Kevin and Brian. That was
cheated.
the problem.
We teased. Last guest picker was
my wife.
Joe's wonderful wife. Everyone did pretty poorly except for Joe, and Jason actually picked.
Jason did well.
They were in cahoots.
But
we made it crystal clear that her favorite podcaster is Jason.
Yes, and she should have been in cahoots with me, but she refused.
But guest pickers right now have 31 points. Joe is 30. I have 29. Brian has 23. And Jason can almost, since you're going to Canada, you're 2 away from legal drinking age in Canada. You have 17.
Look,
you're at 17.
Look, man, it's not my fault I'm the only one with balls on this show to make bold predictions. I'm the enhancement talent. A-holes.
I like that.
And Brian,
nobody wants to
take
a show where everyone agrees on the same things.
Brian tries his best. Brian tries.
Yeah, no risk, I'm just not good at this. I am trying, and I'm not doing very well at all.
I'm still busting your balls for the fact that you didn't pick Liv to win the championship.
I know.
You're wearing a Liv shirt.
I'm wearing her shirt.
I did.
I'm notoriously bad at this.
And I picked Roman to beat Cody at WrestleMania 39 too.
Ooh.
Only one to do that.
Ooh,
wait, and I picked Sheamus to defeat Gunther this year. Only one to do that. Oh, wait, and I'm the one to pick Alba Fire and Isla Dawn to win the tag belts. Only one to do that.
But did you Sheamus pick was terrible because he didn't face Gunther at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Did you pick Carlito to return a fast lane last year in Indy? Okay,
that was Kevin's.
DC. I'll start off with a very easy one, and then I'll let Brian take the reins. It's a yes or no question. Do you think in the past Brian has kissed the side of a van which had the picture of Liv Morgan on it?
Absolutely, yes.
That's it's
on
the
intro of the
claim.
video of our show. It's on the intro.
A dirty ass van.
C4 van.
Absolutely, yes.
C4 van.
Tongue and all.
All right.
There was some making outage.
When in Nashville.
That was the TWP after hours video.
After dark.
Little Nashville
with that gas
nasty.
station pizza.
That's about a half an hour before I completely lost my voice. I think that van kiss took it completely out.
You know, you're really talking DC out of meeting up with us.
If you still want to come, you're welcome, but we get it if you don't. All right, let's get
started.
It's a 5-match card, as these PLEs have tended to be lately. Intercontinental Championship. It's Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker. Sami in his home country, Braun being an absolute menace. DC, you can start us off. What do you see here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty simple. I think we're ready for a new champion. Sami Zayn's reign has been great, but it's time to, kind of pass the torch. I think the new hottest product coming up on Monday Night Raw right now is Braun Breaker. I think he takes the title from him in Sami Zayn's hometown.
Love it. Love the logic. All right, Jay, what do you got?
Braun Breaker.
2 for Braun. Joe.
Braun Breaker. Sammy's reign was to get Chad Gable over. He did that, and now it's time to move on.
All right, I will go with Braun Breaker as well. Sorry, guys, I'm in unison. I feel like I've picked against Sami Zayn ever since WrestleMania. I keep waiting for him to lose. He is amazing, but I was on the Chad Gable train, DC, and it just hasn't happened. But yeah, let's pull the trigger on Braun. He's been fantastic. Give me Braun Breaker. Kev, is it a clean sweep?
It's a clean sweep.
Wow.
Even though I potentially think that Braun could get DQ'd for just destroying Sami somehow. Maybe not take the belt, but I do think well, I guess that would go against because he would get DQ'd, but I think Braun's going to win. I do think Braun's going to win because he was kind of teasing Sami. Can you go there from that back and forth, to beat me. So maybe Sammy gets DQ'd. I think I'm out of my mind.
All right. Fair enough. I know where you're headed there. All right. It's brawn across the board. How about Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins? And the stakes, Seth, if he wins, Priest is out of Judgment Day. A lot of Judgment Day drama lately, especially on Monday with Finn calling him out. You've changed, man. That's there. And if Seth loses and Priest wins, he can't challenge Damian Priest again. What do you think here, DC?
Yeah. So up until this past Monday, I had Damian Priest. But now I've changed because the Judgment Day have just went completely chaos is all broken loose. So I think Seth Rollins wins. I think he takes the title, and then I think we set up Seth and Gunther at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's next on the horizon. All right, Jay.
Damian Priest.
All right. Okay. What do you think, Joe? Break the tie here.
Damian Priest, because there's still some more gas left in that championship reign.
I've really enjoyed, Damian. I think I saw online, like somebody was like, Damian's the only one with like common sense in the Judgment Day. He's always like Dom's like, I'm taking care of this Liv Morgan thing tonight, and Damian's like, you say that every week. You never do, and it's like, yeah, you're absolutely right. But
common sense, Damian doesn't work the same as common sense. True.
No.
Yeah. What would be the equivalent?
What's common sense in Spanish? Anybody?
Oh,
common sensio.
Right. I don't think that's accurate.
That
we'll
might be
that
borderline racist, Kevin. But go ahead.
That's just terrible.
Go ahead, Brian.
But no, but I'm gonna stick with what DC said. I just think a Seth Rollins Gunther SummerSlam match is gonna be a little more juice than a Damian Priest Gunther match. So I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins. Kev, finish it out
DC.
here. Sorry in advance. Yeah.
I think Damian Priest just for the fact where I don't want to see Seth being a potential 1 month transitional champ, because I really, really want Gunther to win that title at SummerSlam. And that's the only reason why it's in my mind that I want Damian to win.
All right. Okay. So we got a split vote here on that one. Let's go with the women's Money in the Bank match. It is Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and the newly added Zoe Stark. What do you think, DC? This one's a tough one because you got 6 to choose from.
Yeah. I was hoping you'd save this one for last to give me a little extra time. You know what? I'm gonna go with the favorite here. I'm gonna go Tiffany Stratton. I think she is on top of her game right now. There's so many that could win, but I got Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if she's the odds-on favorite. What do you think here, Jay?
Zoe Stark.
No, okay.
That's not a no. That is a legitimate.
Shut your mouth, Brian.
That's who I would take if as a long shot. 100%. That could happen.
This is how I
Don't make fun of him.
Vintage Jason Hicks.
Hey, Brian.
That's what he does.
Brian, you get the button.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Especially if I get that shit right.
Exactly.
Hearing the end
exactly. If he gets it right.
Don't forget about Elba Fire. I mean, come on, we had to hear about that.
And Isla Dawn. And
Jay's gonna be calling me collect from Canada. He doesn't want those long distance charges to go. Zoe Stark.
Hey, speaking of calling collect, my new favorite podcast is from Suge Knight. It's called Collect Call with Suge Knight. It's from his prison cell.
Oh,
it is fucking awesome. So if you're looking for a podcast to listen to after this one, Collect Call with Suge Knight, available on all audio platforms.
I will have to check that out. That's something special.
It took you 7 months to watch Gunther versus Dragunov 1.
I'll get to it. There's not a time limit.
Whatever.
Time limit. I'll get to it sometime.
I don't even know where we're at now.
We're following up your incredible Zoe Stark. With Joe with his pick.
Man, this is tough because I really, really, really want Chelsea to win. Like so much. But I can't pick her. So I'm gonna have to go with Tiffany. But I really want I will be happy to lose that one because if Chelsea has missed Money in the Bank, That is so much great TV that's going to happen. But I am picking Tiffany.
Yeah, you know what? I'll switch it up a little. I'll go with Naomi.
Ooh.
She's
Why?
been kind of in the mix, floating around. Why? Okay, I'll tell you why. Good thing we have a podcast.
She's got the glow.
She's got the glow. She's been in the mix a little bit since her return from TNA at the Royal Rumble. Tiffany's the obvious choice. Chelsea.
She's won one match since she's returned. It's been the Naomi Eat the Pin payback tour since
Well,
she's
that's
come
what I'm
back.
saying. Now it's
What you
time
get for
to
walking out? You got to
Yeah.
take those L's.
No way she's winning.
Chelsea doesn't need the win. That's the thing. It would be an amazing moment. But she's just so over that she doesn't even need to be. Whenever she's on TV, it's entertaining. So I don't think the briefcase benefits her as much as it could Naomi, which I think could be a fun cash-in. Kev?
I am picking Tiffany just because my 8-year-old and myself like watching Tiffany on our TV.
Tiffy time in the Cox household.
Huh.
All right. What's so funny? That's his name. All right. Men's Money in the Bank match. It's Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Chad Gable, LA Knight, and the new added Drew McIntyre. Start us off here, DC.
Yeah, so this would be my long shot, I guess. Maybe not as long shot as Jason, but I think it's still out there. But I got Carmelo Hayes winning. I think
I love it.
I think Carmelo Hayes can get that briefcase and have a nice little run, elevate his arrogance a little bit. I got Carmelo Hayes.
Wouldn't that be a big if Braun wins IC and Carmelo wins Money in the Bank? You talk about like the NXT call-ups doing stuff on the main roster. That'd be pretty special. Jay?
Chad Gable.
Oh, Master
Love
in
it.
the Bank.
Master in the Bank.
Joe?
Since I picked a SmackDown star for women's, I got to pick a Raw star for men's, and it's main event Jey Uso.
He, I think, would be the odds-on favorite again if you're looking at it. I'm going Andrade.
Nice.
I'm going Andrade, and I
See.
think because a lot of these other competitors have other things kind of going around. LA Knight does Logan Paul get involved? Drew does CM Punk get involved? Hey, maybe Larry the dog is gonna go and bite him when he's trying to climb the ladder. Jey Uso, he's kind of in a weird mix with maybe the Wyatt Six. We know Chad Gable is, right? So Andrade, we know how fantastic he is as a performer. Maybe he gets that spot and gets elevated. It's another guy I think who could really use it because he certainly has main event capability.
I don't know if they're going to go with another senior Money in the Bank 2 years in a row.
Okay, yeah, fair.
But your picks in.
Never know.
Locked.
Yep. I'm not changing.
And double dose SmackDown.
Fair. All right, Kev. Did you just throw
Kevin
your picks
just
in the air?
threw his pick away.
Nope, I put LA Knight and Drew both on paper, threw them up in the air.
It's a scientific method.
I'll go with Drew McIntyre. So we all
Wow.
That's great.
I think there's going to be a lot of fun shenanigans. I think
So if LA Knight wins, we all lost.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
That is hilarious.
But basically what everybody said, everyone gave compelling ideas and pushes for their guys.
I didn't.
Drew will probably get screwed over by CM Punk. Chad will probably get screwed over somehow by hearing the Wyatt Six. It's going to be fun. I think this pay-per-view, the 5-match sweet spot, I think it's going to be awesome. Jay, you're going to be there. Jealous.
And it's not in the middle of the afternoon, so we can actually watch it at night.
Yeah. I'm looking forward
Well, we
to
know
that
Brian won't.
we'll see.
Not like he has to host a podcast or anything and needs to watch the podcast. But hey, whatever.
Just like Suge Knight's podcast. I'll get to it. Give me a minute.
Wow.
Let's wrap it up.
Shit. We do have one more match.
Yeah,
My bad.
Kevin's like wrapping up like it's gonna be a great show. How dare you forget about the what I presume
last
would be
match.
the main event, but who knows?
Bloodline 2.0, right?
Don't start with that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Point out, we'll get DC will make the call on this. So we did the way our show works, it's majority vote, majority wins. Kevin referred to the Bloodline as Bloodline 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
I brought it to the party here that it's just the Bloodline. 2.0 is not a thing. What do you think?
It's the bloodline.
Yes.
2.0. You forgot the 2.0 after.
No.
It's absolutely the bloodline.
No, I saw the red microphone is it cut out.
All right. That's
Note to
almost
self,
unanimous.
DC's not coming over for beers.
Oh.
Here comes the no, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing.
Invitation
digital
withdrawal.
pinball for DC.
Kevin's just gonna post on his Twitter account pictures of him playing the video game in the basement. Just
Sorry,
unfortunate.
DC.
Let's get to it. It's Cody, it's Orton, and Kevin Owens versus Bloodline, Solo, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu. DC, your last vote is in.
Last vote is in. So the only way we get Solo Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam is if Bloodline wins. So I got Bloodline.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jay.
The Bloodline.
Good emphasis. Joe?
Bloodline.
Better when I do it.
Well, Cody Rhodes has a lot go. No, I'm not gonna even try. It's got to be Bloodline. It's got to be. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get in Roman or anything else. I think we're gonna have straight up and Bloodline. I'm really excited for Jacob Fatu's first WWE match. He looks incredible. Really excited for how this is going to go for him. And Kev, is it a sweep here?
I think Bloodline.
Self-edit. Nice.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where I'll go.
Wow. That was amazing. Well done, my friend. All right, the picks are in. So everybody enjoy Saturday night. Hey, DC, real quick too. I know you are a big NXT guy. I see, you write a lot about NXT, and we got Heat Wave on Sunday, right? Yeah. So is there anybody lately who's like stood out to you, or maybe a match? Because we're recording during NXT. We'll have to see what the full card is after the fact, but anything that's kind of been tip of your mind on what you've been enjoying with NXT?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to Lola Vice, Roxanne Perez. Although the promo tonight, I don't know if you guys followed that or anything yet.
Haven't seen anything yet.
It was the promo was a little rough.
Oh, all right.
Just to be honest, it was a little rough, but it's development, so they have those moments. It's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to the match. I think we may be seeing the end of Roxanne's reign, and I think we might be entering the Lola Vice era. I think that's coming. So I'm looking forward to that one. And the Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT title. I think Trick retains, but I'm looking forward to seeing how the youngster Javon Evans fares against those, the guys that they're veterans. I mean, Sean Spears and Ethan Page, those are veterans. They've been wrestling a while. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the young guy fares with those guys. So those are the two main matches I'm looking forward to the most.
I didn't factor in, too, that Ethan and Sean Spears are both Canadians.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
That might make for an interesting crowd dynamic between Trick, who's over like gangbusters, and
is Oba Femi on the card? Because that guy's like Thanos.
I think him and Wesley.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice. Yeah. That'll be a good one.
So that'll be a banger as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I think Oba retains in that one.
Yeah, I think so too.
He's got it all right now. He's fantastic. All right, DC, I know before we say goodbye, why don't you, again, tell people how they can find you, see your work, and everything else?
Yeah, as you said earlier, when you introduced me, I write for bodyslam.net, host a Monday Night Raw post show each and every Monday night, right after Monday Night Raw, so you can tune into that on Body Slam's channels, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter. You can check me out at WrestleHolics. That's my podcast and my platform as well, with a couple of buddies of mine. You can check us out, WrestleHolics.com. We got a little bit of content there rolling as well. And I do a little bit of writing for Fansided. I also am a baseball writer on the side as well. That's actually my first love is baseball. So do a little bit of that. So just follow me on Twitter at DC Hendrix, and you'll get a little bit of it all on there. So appreciate you guys having me. I had a blast, and hopefully I didn't whiff too bad on my picks.
See you at the karaoke bar in Cleveland.
That's right. Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready. I want to hear some of that.
What's your go-to? Do you have one, or what
Absolutely.
songs?
Bobby Caldwell, What You Won't Do for Love.
Whoa.
Okay.
Outstanding.
Wow.
Yeah, classic.
All right.
Kevin,
I'm
what about you?
following
What's your go-to?
Well, I was gonna do Lose Yourself if the Lions won,
But but
but I didn't.
Kevin, by the way,
didn't.
the Lions championship title is available again, so we
Go
got
buy
to.
it.
Well, we can't buy it until they win the Super Bowl.
Right.
That's
That's,
right.
that's a paper
And
championship.
if they
right
don't
now.
have that one, I have a secondary option. Okay. Tears
All
for
right.
Fears. Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Ooh,
Wow.
that's
All
fun.
right.
That's
My
fun.
top two.
I can get down with that.
Yeah, I've been working on my playlist, so I've got a few more new ones. I did Garth Brooks, and I did the Georgia Satellites. I did Bobby Brown.
There we go.
I'm expanding the playlist, keeping it secret, and
like
we'll
that.
see what happens. I
I got a new one too, so it's not going to be fat bottom girls again.
It's gonna be fun. So you guys are all going to SummerSlam?
Oh yeah,
We are, sir.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. We gonna party it up. That's
So,
nice.
DC,
I love it. I love it.
We were trying to strategic about 4 months in advance. We were trying to figure out, because the rumors started saying it's going to be Cleveland. So Joe got the bright idea to rent 2 hotel rooms literally across the street from the stadium,
in January.
hoping that it was that weekend. And
Genius.
sure enough, it was that weekend. So now we're right in the mix of everything in downtown Cleveland.
Genius move, Joe.
Yes, because if it wasn't, I would just cancel the hotel room. I didn't
Exactly.
pay.
Yeah.
It was enough in advance, easily.
Yes. So we're right across the street from it, booked in January.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
I love it.
It's going to be great. Let's all enjoy July 1st. Let's not get there too quick. It's a great month. And Jay, hey, have a great time in Toronto. Can't
You better
wait to-
accept my collect call. Zoe Stark wins Money in the Bank.
He's gonna be calling me with Zoe Stark. He's talking trash on me.
She's gonna come to your house and kick your ass with the Z360.
She
for
certainly
doubting
will.
her.
She's fantastic.
Because
All right.
last year you offended Sergeant Slaughter. This year, it's
Yeah,
Zoe
that's
Stark.
true.
I mean, what's going on?
I'll tell you that off the air, DC. Give us a minute. Let me wrap this thing up here. It is youtube.com/That Wrestling Podcast. As of course, at That WrestlePod is for the social media. Whatamaneuver.net is for all of your merchandise needs. Everybody, whether it's Collision, Money in the Bank, Heat Wave, there's tons of wrestling. I hope you enjoy it all. That's what we do every week here. We always enjoy wrestling. Talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening. Follow That WrestlePod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
1, 2, 3. That's it.